Hi, guys. Welcome in. I'm not always going to be a clip show. Sometimes I'm going to do some fun little interviews. And this next lady, I'm really proud to call one of my friends. I adore her. She's been an amazing proponent in the anti-Scientology movement. And she's an amazing person. And she brought a guest with her. So everybody, welcome in Irish Mart. Hey, Irish. Thanks for coming today.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you've been a friend of mine for at least a year now, like probably a year and a half now.
Easily that, yeah. Easily.
Yeah. And amazing protester. Irish Mart is in Dublin, Ireland. I almost said Dublin, England. Can you believe that? Dublin. I know. That's blasphemy. She's in Dublin.
That would have been the end of the interview antics.
I know, that would be it. Like, next, I'm out of here. She protests in Dublin, Ireland at the Scientology. It's like a community center, right? They use it as a community center.
Oh, they call it a community center, but it's not. It's not open to community.
Yeah.
Open to your wallet.
Well, that's true. And she mods for a lot of channel. I know you mod for Miriam, Audit LA, to name a few. And she's a huge supporter of so many people in this movement. And I really appreciate her. So everyone, show some kindness and love and like and subscribe to Irish Mart. I have a few questions for you. Let's see. Okay, how did Scientology first come on your radar?
I've always known they were a cult, but never thought much about it. I always thought, that's just ripping off the wealthy lads like Tom Cruise and Leah Remedy out of money. That's just for the wealthy idiots with too much money than sense kind of thing. It was only when the Danny Masterson grapes came about, because I was watching The Ranch at that time that he was in with his other dubious buddy, that Kushner chap.
Yeah.
I did some Googles because I was very interested to know how the heck has he been getting away with this for 30 years and so only coming out now. So that's where I came upon the Scientology connection. And that kind of intrigued me. What the fuck? They're all covering up for him. Oh, there's a bit more to this cult than I had I was aware of. So that's sort of where I fell down the rabbit hole and I came across Doug Scott Kramer's channel, Dazed But Not Confused.
Rest in peace, Doug. Yeah, Doug was awesome. Rest in peace, Doug. Sorry to have lost him for sure. And he's
a great loss because his videos were so well researched, as well as him having the hands-on knowledge and experience of being involved in Scientology and the crazy inner workings.
You know, for the longest time, I couldn't go back and rewatch his stuff because it was too upsetting. But then also I was afraid that since his mother was his only living relative, and she's in Scientology, I was afraid that money from his channel would go to her and then she'd give it to Scientology. But I forgot the key point. He never monetized. Yeah. He never monetized his channel because he was smoking on there. He didn't want to be bothered with all the BS of monetization, so he never monetized. So his stuff is free and available from here on until eternity. So guys, go check out Dazed But Not Confused. Doug Scott Kramer has some amazing content and some wisdom, and you'll learn a lot about the beginnings of some of this community there.
I do think not being monetized is a great monkey off your back because you're not worried then about, we have to produce stimulating content.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Through gain, you don't, that's all secondary. You just concentrate on what your goal is.
Right. Well, what made you decide from watching that and learning about that to actually go out and protest?
Me deciding to go out and protest, that was much, much later. That was last March, I went over to Copenhagen to protest with Miriam and Bianca, Samuel and Balaj. And even at that, I wouldn't have considered myself a protest. I was just going over there to provide some support and hold a few signs.
Yeah.
And meet some people who I knew kind of virtually and whatnot.
Now we're ignoring the elephant in the room. Tell us about this little guy on your lap. Who is he?
Little guy on my left. Oh, am I right? Yeah, that's my right. It's your left. This little fella.
I said lap, not left, but that's fine.
Yeah, this little fella is Roger. And this little guy, can you see him? This little guy is baby Roger.
And how did you meet and what does he do?
Oh, we met. I shopping in IKEA one day. Roger was there. He's after crash landing his spaceship. He was on his way to planet Earth to tell us all that he's a cousin of Xenu, and Xenu was framed by a madman called Lafayette Ronald Hubbard.
Yeah.
So we became friends. I said, I'll bring him home, feed him up a bit and whatnot. And then in gratitude for me giving him house and board, he decided, he'd come protesting with me.
Yeah, and he's been a valuable tool for you to draw eyes to you, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, when I first got him, I didn't know what to do with him until one evening I got the idea, hang on, Roger should have his own little signs if he's a protester. So that's why I'll make a few little signs for him.
Yeah, speaking of, I want to share a quick clip from you. Let's do that now.
Hope this person in.
Well, you see, what was this fella's brother? He was called in, and they called him in to give him the result of his test, and they said, "What do you want to get out of life?" And the fella said, "I just want to be happy." And he said, "Well, we can make you happy." So they basically said, "Okay, there's a score chart, and it's when you get to 500 points, you're going to be really happy with loads of friends." And he says, "At the moment, you're at 110. How do I get to 500?" So he said, "You do this course." So they said that you had to do this course, and it cost $2,000.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, but
they got him for $2,000 straight away after. Oh my goodness!
He ended up spending $30,000.
Yeah. Oh my goodness!
They said to him, it cost $2,000.
Yeah.
So, and it was a 4 or 5 weeks, right? So they came back and they said, "We have your score. You're at 180. So you see, he's trying to get to 500.
Yeah, and you've already invested a couple of grand. You don't want to waste that.
So it's another $2,000.
Yeah.
And he kept on paying $2,000, and they kept on telling him, "Oh, you good news, you're up to 250 now."
Yeah.
And this fella was trying to get to 500 because all he wanted to do was be happy.
Yeah.
And they're telling him that when you get there, so he ended up leaving. His brother went to go into hospital because he was just, his brain was just gone.
Oh, that is it. It either bends your mind or it breaks it. Yeah. And that's the unfortunate thing, is it breaks a lot of people's mind that their only route out is to unalive themselves.
Yeah. And they kept at him as soon as he came out. Then they kept at him and tormented him and ringing him and phoning him and saying, "You're coming back, you're coming back, you're coming back." And just...
Well, that's part of the recruitment tactic, because once they have you on the hook once, it's easier to try and get you back in than try and hook in someone else.
That's just one small example of some of the good work that Irish has been doing. She's been amazing at talking to people and making it connectable to people. And that guy came up to you and started talking, right?
Yeah, he came up talking to me. Yeah, because I don't. What's the word? I'm kind of a shy person, introverted person. I don't go chasing after people or whatnot. I don't even believe in that tactic because it's not really the Irish way. And that's one thing I decided when I was going to start going out protesting. I don't need to. The fact I've never been a protester and activist is irrelevant. I know a lot about Scientology, but the more I learn about Scientology, the more I realise I know fuck all about it, if you know what I mean. And I realise the one thing that I do have, at that time, I had 50 years, now 51 years experience of being born and bred an Irish person. So I know how to relate to an Irish person. And I think that approach of being out there, I make it clear with my high vis on my signs, I'm a peaceful protester, protesting against abuse of Scientology. If you want to come talk to me, find out why I think it's abusive, I'm open to that. So that's sort of my style. And I think you can see there that it does work. People are relatable to that, and they do ask me, "Oh, tell me, why do you think it's abusive?"
Yeah. Are there differences in your opinion of how Scientology operates in Ireland compared to what you see in the US?
Well, that's it. The first time I went out, I didn't know what to expect because I thought, I don't know anything about Scientology here, apart from their what's the word? They're knees deep in the Irish dance movement, and with some of the local gymnastic groups that they give they rent out the hall for very little money to them. So that's really sort of all I knew. But as I've been going out there and talking to people, I realised, oh fuck, I actually know a lot about Scientology, because they operate the same everywhere they are. So knowing about how they operate in LA, you automatically know what they're operating pretty much the same in Dublin as well.
Yeah, because they have to follow. Yeah, they have to follow Hubbard policy, so I guess it would be a lot the same.
So you just notice, oh shit, I recognise this. This reminds me of a video of Mark Bunkers some 30 years ago and kind of thing, that kind of thing. And particularly with their harassment tactics of making malicious reports to the Gardaí.
Yes, speaking of, let's show a clip of that. Irish Mart has been had the Gardaí called on her a number of times. So let's show one of those clips. Can you guys see it? Here we go.
You should be a lot better educated and aware, but what it is they're doing their bidding.
No, but
they're claiming that you're creating the scene. They're supposed to come and move you on. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Now, me and yourself, if I was doing what you're doing, I'd be up at that fucking corner.
And this is why I am here, because there's no way, unless I somehow manage to pole vault over the fence. Do you know what I mean?
You're on a public sidewalk. What you do is you put your stuff down up there and you photograph it, and you don't move from that position. And once that position is set, you're on a public sidewalk.
And that's why I like being set here, where you can see the sign there, so you can clearly place where I am.
Oh, well.
Do you know what I mean? So that's where,
the big one up there, here in Tala.
That's really smart of you to set parameters and make sure that they don't have anything to use against you. You're very cautious and aware of that.
Well, cautious, but also my style. I don't want to cause anyone any bother. I don't want to get them into any trouble, because I do feel for them. They're stuck between a rock and a hard place. They need to do what their bosses ordered them to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Or they get punishment. There's bleeding toilets for the next, I don't know, 10 years, whatever it is. But you know what I mean? So I do feel for them, and I do identify with them, because they are stuck in an abusive situation. They mightn't be aware that they're being abused right here and right now, if you know what I mean. So
yeah, they're brainwashed. How would you best explain Scientology to someone who doesn't know about it?
How would I best explain it is... Well, it's kind of like a pyramid scheme. Fundamentally, it's a money scam. It's all about the money that filters upwards to David Miscavige. But embedded in their teachings is full of abuse from the top down. Every which way you slice the onion, there's abuse all over the shop on it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anyone that does Scientology, spends 20 grand, walks away and comes out and says, oh yeah, fuck lads, that 20 grand with money well spent. Absolutely enjoy doing them courses.
Yeah. Well, they pay a lot of money for it. So they convince themselves that had value. They're so determined to make the most on their money that they convince themselves it was of value, even if it wasn't.
Well, it's more the devious nature of the way they structured the courses. The way they'll get you on the hook first with the bottom level ones. Oh, this is how you improve your self-confidence. This is how you can repair a failed relationship. So the bottom level courses that they do for free are just for 100, 200 quid. You can see how that will get someone in on the hook. And then it's very specific to the way they go upwards and charge people money.
Yeah.
So I can sort of understand you're slowly being brainwashed, but you don't realize it.
Yeah. If you could talk to a current Scientologist, what would you tell them?
I'd probably have more questions for them than what I tell them.
Yeah.
I'd be very curious to know, how did they get started as a Scientologist? Was it that they happened to pass by the building one day and decided to wander in out of curiosity? Was it through one of their free events, like say Easter Sunday when they were doing the free Easter eggs? That kind of thing. Or was it a personality test? Or was it through where friends said to them, oh, I go to this fantastic place. Come on with me, mate, next time. Your life will improve leaps and bounds. Or was it true a sibling or their mums and dads or uncle getting in? So I'd be very interested to know, how did they get entangled? And then if they're a staff member, I'd be very curious to know why they see nothing wrong with working 5-6 days a week, 10, 12, 14, 16 hours a day and not getting paid for it. How do they think that is, what am I trying to say there? How do they think that is purely voluntary and that this is going to save all of mankind? Now, I know they're offered, some of them will be offered free, well, I say free lodgings, but they're very loosely. You're given a bunk bed to sleep on.
Yeah.
With very little freedom.
Well, speaking of the money aspect, if Scientology was disbanded today, what would you like to see their resources put towards?
I'm talking about billions. Well, for one, it strikes me as that'd be a very convoluted, complicated mess to try and untangle to try and reclaim the money. You'd need leading edge financial forensics guys to go in there and try and locate it. Because I'd be pretty certain that they have it purged away all over the place.
They absolutely do, but I mean, dream case scenario that we were able to retrieve some of that money.
And then it have to be very carefully managed, because you know yourself, with money comes a lot of corruption, even by well-meaning people. People have a tendency to line their own pockets.
Yeah.
So it have to be very carefully managed, but I'd love it to be, in an ideal world, that particularly for current members of Scientology, when they leave Scientology, they're going to need a lot of financial assistance.
Yeah.
And even help to, to reintegrate into the normal world and to realise,
well,
being part of Scientology is no failings on their behalf. They were taken in by a very fucking clever con.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of them that are raised in it don't even have proper education. So there would need to be scholarships for education for all sorts of things. They don't know how to get a driver's license, even, for instance.
And there's probably, even if you're born and raised in, there's a lot more into that then. It's more than things that we learn. There are things that we learn as children by just naturally playing and interacting with other children.
Mm-hmm.
I think that part of the natural child development they've missed out on.
Yeah.
Being in such an enclosed, constricting place. So now, that is where you'd need a lot of leading experts to understand that when child development is fucked up like that, how do you help them then as adults?
Yeah, it's tragic. It's really
when you think of, and this is no slight on the current ex-Scientologists, but you look at them and you can clearly see they've spent years to try and get to the place that they are now. And that to me is heartbreaking. Is there anything we can do to help to shorten that gap?
Yeah, to make it easier for them.
Yeah, to make it easier for them and to unpeel all the layers of cookery that's been imposed by Scientology.
Right. What advice would you like to give to people that are thinking of protesting that you've learned from being out there protesting?
What advice would I give them? First off, I'd advise them to stop, to just think and decide what form do they want to protest and to take. Are they there to prevent Scientology from recruiting? Are they there to spread awareness to the general public so that they know Scientology is an abusive cult? Or are they there to try and plant seeds out in the current Scientologists to try and get the message through to them that's okay, it's safe to leave? Or are they there to say maybe they're looking to encourage a family member to leave? So I would think about what form your protesting is going to take. And then also bear in mind the location where you're going to protest, what might be applicable there. Because like you see, me in Dublin, I'm miles away from the front door of the org. So realistically, I'm not going to be interacting with football and people going in to do a free personality test, if you see what I mean. So a big difference between me here, say, than what streets can do outside the test centre in LA.
Yeah.
So that would be an important factor. And I would say probably most important is Google the laws in your local area. Be aware what the laws are. If you're going to live stream, be aware that are you legally able to record people in public? Here we are. You're allowed. I'm standing on a public pavement. I'm allowed to record to my heart's content. Now, if I was to be going there and say the receptionist was called, well, you will use the word Shannon. Say she was called Shannon. If I was going up there and I was focusing my camera on Shannon, and I was like, oh, look, lads, there's Shannon. Oh, she's going out for a lunch now. Oh, she's going into her handbag. If I was to be focusing on one person like that, that could be deemed harassment and stalking.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? So that's where I go out. I'm not filming anyone in particular. I'm just filming the front of the building, and that's it. And maybe I kind of pan around the rest of it every once in a while. Like there's fuck all to see there anyway. What are we going to see? We're going to see people occasionally walking in and out of the building. Like not exactly celebrating stuff, but that's not the purpose of going there protesting. You know what I mean? Have I just rambled on there? I've forgotten my train of thought.
No, you're doing great. You're doing great. Out of the current Scientologists, is there anyone in particular that you would be really overjoyed to see escape Scientology?
I would love Phil Jones. I'd love his daughter and son to leave Scientology and to be reunited with him and his wife.
Oh, that's an excellent.
I would love Bianca's mum to leave Scientology and to realise how wrong she was to disconnect.
Yeah.
I'd love Lara's dad and mom to leave as well and to realise they have a fantastic daughter, Lara.
Oh, those are lovely answers. Do you think we'll ever get to see Shelley again?
To be honest, I couldn't give two hoots about Shelley. Whether she's... I just couldn't care less about her. She says, how do I put it? I think she's complicit in a lot of things. Granted, she is brainwashed and whatnot by LRH, and then she married little Davy, but she still has a lot of blood on her hands for it that way. So that's where I'm kind of conflicted.
Yeah.
She caused a lot of pain and misery herself. Now that doesn't make it right to be. See, this is where she is a victim as well, and that's where it's complicated. But there's probably 5% in Scientology who are abusers themselves. So I'm more concerned with the 95% that have been taken advantage of.
Yeah. Well, let's play one more clip from you. Here we go.
Let me just.
Just got a call. You got a call with Rathfarnham Garda Station.
Yeah.
Just in relation to yourself.
To myself. Yeah.
And causing a disturbance up here, annoying people going in and out of the Scientology building.
Standing here.
Have you?
I just stand here, yeah. And I go live when I'm over that side of the road, so that them fuckers can't say I saw my managed lightning speed to run in, do vandalism, whatever. Okay. So I always protect myself that way. Okay. And I always stand here, not interfering with them. My message is for the general public, just to warn them. Because these guys aren't a religion, and the most certainly are not a church.
Been in the grounds on the.
That's a good example of the Gardaí being called on Irish and how she handled that situation. She does an excellent job. She records everything. There can't be any questions when you have it all recorded. So that's a good tip, to make sure you have it all recorded. I'm going to follow up with a silly question, and then I'm going to ask you about your knitting, because I love your knitting.
Hello, but before you ask me the next question, I just want to say, can you hear the surprise, the sheer surprise in my voice that they on me?
Yeah, you're like, me?
Yes, because when I seen the cop car going down, I thought, there hasn't even been, if a Scientologist to walk by me and we had exchanged words, I could say, okay, that gives them something to build on, to exaggerate. But to fabricate it out of nothing.
Yeah. So my silly question for the end, you know the game Kiss, Marry, Kill? Where I name three people.
The American game, yeah.
Yeah, so I have Hubbard, Miscavige, and Xenu. Who would you kiss, marry, kill?
Definitely not Hubbard or Miscavige. So it had to be I'd have to be, I kissed Senior, and because I kissed Senior, I'd have to marry him. And because I was married to him, I would opt to kill myself.
Okay.
That's
All
my
right.
answer.
You didn't play by the rules, but honestly, how could you answer that question any other way? Yeah, it was perfect. Now I want to ask you about your knitting, just because I love your knitting so much. I'm going to put you on full screen for a second so people can see the sweater you're wearing. She made this sweater herself. She knit these beautiful Irish cables. Isn't that gorgeous? How long have you been knitting? When did you learn to knit?
When I was a child, I learned to knit watching my mum knit. My mum used to knit Aran jumpers for a bit of, in her spare time, she'd knit Aran jumpers for a bit of extra pocket money.
It's gorgeous.
Well, when I say pocket money, really a bit of extra housekeeping money.
Yeah.
Exactly flush growing up. Despite me dad running his own farm and having 8 kids for free family labour, we were always struggling, so I learned from watching my mum.
It's beautiful. You do such a great job.
And then would you believe I stopped knitting for 25 or more years.
Wow.
I think it's when drink and chats kind of got in the way.
I have blocked the little thing that can reduce you. So hold on one second.
I haven't shown.
Oh, it's not letting me do it.
So I've been working on what I call body parts.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to see what you were meaning by that.
Yeah, so I'm working on 3 different ones. So that's the... I'm not sure if that's the top or bottom, but that's the body.
Cute.
That is the tail.
Oh, is it going to be a squirrel?
That is the...
Is it a fox?
That is the head.
I can't wait to see what it is.
And they're the legs. There we have the little ears. But I made one of the ears is a little bit bigger, which I'm thinking. I'm not going to reap it back. It's more authentic to have one ear bigger than the other.
Well, that's true.
There we have the little arms.
Aww.
So I have to do the sewing on it, which I hate doing, and then work out what am I going to use the stuff on. So that's where I started making another one, which I'm making this lad. So there's his legs.
Nice.
The color on the bottom. And then his head is a little different. He's going to have a little patch there, little cream patch. And then this is his body, which has another cream patch there to the side.
Now, these are foxes? What are these?
This one is going to be a black dog with a patch on him.
Aww.
This one is going to be a squirrel.
A squirrel!
And I want to make a fox as well. I'm going to make a fox and owl. 2 more lads. What was the other 2 lads? I've forgotten. The 6 lads in total I'm going to make.
Nice.
They're going to be loosely the same size, so it means I can make clothes for all 6 and then interchange, swap them around kind of thing, if you know what I mean. So
that's great.
Wardrobe.
I look forward to seeing those. And I really appreciate you coming on to let me interview you. You're my first interview.
I hope I wasn't too sucky.
No, it went really well. You did a great job.
Words in it.
No, you did a great job. You did a great job. It was really fun. It was great getting to see you. I always enjoy hanging out with you. You're such a wonderful person. So I think I'm going to close it and say goodbye to everybody.
Say goodbye, Roger.
Bye, Roger. Bye, Irish. Thanks, guys, for coming in. Please go check out Irish Mart. I go along, so sorry if it's imperfect, but we are learning, living and learning, as we say, which is a great opportunity for me to mention that Lara FM has been fair gamed on the daily. She was fair gamed out of a job, and now she's trying to get her van fixed. I made a short for that. Let's show that. So go check out that. Her GoFundMe link is on her channel page. It's also on a post I did. I am planning an auction for Laura. I'm going to auction off a custom hat, and you can make it anything you want. It can be turquoise with hot pink lettering, and you can get it made for your daughter. It doesn't have to be Scientology related at all. Or a few of you could pull together and get a hat made for one of the protesters. But I maintain the right to keep the fiber content, either acrylic or wool. I don't like working in cotton. I have to change my pattern too much. So I want to keep it easier for me and be able to keep the same pattern. I don't mind the details being changed as far as wording, color, image. It can be green with purple dolphins. I don't care. Whatever you feel like. And I'm going to throw in a couple of Pup Groomer stickers and a lemon curd. And then there's a few other things that have been offered up to be auctioned off. So stay tuned for that. That's on Valentine's Day. And if any of you want to participate, I still need to reach out to Dusty, because Dusty was host of the last auction we did, and he did an excellent job. And that freed me up to focus on the auction details while he hosted. So I need to reach out to Dusty and see if Dusty is willing to participate and be the host. So that is it, guys. Thanks for coming in. Please give Laura some love and support. Not everyone can afford to donate. I completely understand that. But share her post, share her story, give her some love. Thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate all of you so much. Bye.